For next week, our guest is going to be Frances Widdowson. You probably I would think everybody in Canada knows Frances Widdowson, and she is a political scientist. We're referring to her too. She was a professor who was removed for speaking out against the truth and reconciliation industry that is robbing Canadians of hundreds of billions of dollars with this fraud that they're putting forward. About children in graves. Nothing has been discovered. And so Frances Widdowson has been on the front line, even bravely going into university campuses to try to have a conversation with our youth to help them critically think about the issues, because they have been so deceived by the wokesters that are, our university campgrounds. It's a little bit of a scary place to send our kids, and most people are advising you not to do it because you'll never recognize your kids after 3 or 4 years. And so Frances has made some real efforts to help educate our children. And in the meantime, I don't know if you saw about it, but CTV, CBC, Global News were all reporting on the scam that recently took place, the ambush from a fake organization called Forge Media. They had actually reached out to me and came into my home, into my private space. They provided false names, false organizations. Everything about it was fake, but I had no idea about that, of course. It was supposed to be a documentary on talking about the Indians and the land grabs and the graves, and trying to bring some balance to it. They were very deceitful in the emails that they sent me. Frances was flown from Calgary to Vancouver and then brought to a warehouse to do an interview. And then she was basically ambushed. And then we find out that behind it was a CBC, Canadian Heritage, and APTN. And they had brought in individuals from America, spending millions of Canadian tax dollars for this scam. And they even had RCMP officers that they pulled into this, retired RCMP officers. And it was basically a public humiliation, berating them and humiliating them. And so we're going to have a conversation about that. We think it's important to expose some of these details. And then also Frances has had an amazing win. Who can believe it? In her human rights complaint, in her being removed as a professor. And so I look forward to hearing her update on that. It will be encouraging. I believe that this is happening. The truth and reconciliation, like I say, industry narrative is crumbling under the mounting evidence of fraud, fake graves, and massive financial overreach. And this is a desperate counterstrike on their part in order to try to shut down good people like myself and Frances and Dallas and others who are calling it out. And I say, the truth is always going to win. So we're going to continue to proclaim the truth. We're going to continue to expose these liars and frauds, and until this, is finally finished with.